PUDcast is filmed before a live studio audience.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the PUDcast with Jason and Mike. I'm Jason.
I'm Mike.
And we're coming to you from the Pud Cave, located here in game-swapping, beautiful downtown Lincoln in the great state of North Carolina. Mikey, brother, I bet you had no idea I was going to say that shit, did you?
No.
How's it going, brother?
Spoiler, we're here.
Yes, man, we're here. Yeah, man, that's all I can really say.
There you go.
Well, until next week, y'all have a good one.
All right. PUDcast is sponsored by
nobody. Damn it, man. We're broke. Hey, man, you motherfuckers can sponsor us. Send us some money. It's Jason Finger P.O. Box. Oh, Mike, so what's been going on this week, brother? How you doing, man?
Like, share, subscribe.
Do it now.
Buy the shirts.
We got shirts.
No, we got stickers.
No, we don't.
Well,
we don't have stickers anymore.
Yeah, I have to ask for those. Those are behind the counter.
Oh, yeah, those
stickers.
are the 18 plus. And, brother, I'm still fighting allergies, and I'm congested, so I'm going to be hacking and coughing and wheezing, man. So just a little heads up to you and the puds out there. I'm still a little snotty, if you will.
Yeah. Every time somebody says snotty, I always think about
snotty Scotty Piper.
Snotty Scotty Piper, man.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Who was Snotty Scotty, bro? Who was that?
I don't remember his real name.
I'm pretty sure it was Snotty Scotty.
No. Shut the hell up.
That's on his license, man.
It was this guy we worked with in the 90s on some wrestling shows, and he did this, Roddy Piper gimmick.
It was straight up Roddy Piper.
Straight up, man. Straight up.
Kilt, bagpipes, the whole nine, bro.
I don't know if he was a little brother, cousin.
Or just, yeah,
man.
Or just a clone.
Sure. He didn't talk like him.
No. He was local.
Yeah.
He was local, man. He was from Scotland County, North Carolina.
He was from the Belmont clan.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I'm not talking about Simon Belmont either.
No,
I'm talking about,
Belmont, North Carolina.
Mount Holly Belmont clan.
Damn Gaston County all day, brother.
Not that kind of clan.
No. We got a
Scottish clan.
Yeah. He wore a kilt, not a robe.
Yeah.
Mike, the funny thing about Snotty Scotty is even before we got into the business, the way we got into the business, we basically just started going to all these independent shows.
Right.
Excuse me. And, like you were just saying, there was this worker who was a straight ripoff. Oh, well, yeah, fuck it, it's a ripoff.
I mean, for all intents, it was a straight rip.
Yeah, I was going to try to maybe reword it a little bit nicer, but no, it was a straight up ripoff of Roddy Piper.
Yeah.
So people hated this man.
Yeah.
They hated it because it was a ripoff. He was a heel. He was a good heel. He was Roddy fucking Piper. I mean, basically, he was a local. Yeah. He was a Maypop Roddy Piper, man. I mean, that's what
we loved it.
We loved it. And our little crew would cheer for this guy. We were the only ones. I mean, we'd even tell other people to shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
That's Snotty Scotty, motherfucker. Don't boo him.
Yeah.
You show him respect. Excuse me.
We were the heel marks.
We were.
I mean, we were. I mean,
well,
there was no...
I kind of bounced, man. It really depended.
True. Yeah, it really depended on who it was.
Yeah, but Snotty just had
Chris Hammer.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, boy. Chris Hammer did not like us. We were assholes, man. We were disrespectful little shits. If I was Chris Hammer back then and I had to deal with us, I'd have done the same shit that he did to us.
As a baby face?
Absolutely.
Just flip us off.
Say, fuck all you mark motherfuckers. Fuck all y'all.
You.
Fuck you. You're all right. Fuck you. Nah, man.
Really?
And the older I get, the more I look back on that. We were shitheads, man.
Oh, hell,
we were, man.
There's shitheads at every show.
Well, that's true, and we were those shitheads. Yeah. I mean, that was our time.
Grandma shitheads. There's kid shitheads.
I mean, most of your audience are shitheads,
but you gotta be able to.
You gotta be able to take it.
You gotta be able to take it. You gotta be able to roll with it.
Oh, brother, I mean,
we broke him.
We did.
We broke him.
We did. You're right. We did. I mean, it was still. And we were fans.
Yeah.
You're right, Mike. Yeah. I mean, looking back, we were trying to break in the business.
No,
but we weren't in it at that time. We weren't. We were just a bunch of smart-ass kids off the street. Mm-hmm. And for anybody, let's go into a little detail of the exact situation we're talking about. Chris Hamrick, who was a former ECW wrestler, I mean, he's a good worker. I mean, he always has been a good worker.
He wasn't even a ECW worker at that time.
Not at that time. No. He went on into ECW later. Toward the end of the ECW brand, actually.
Right.
And he's a good worker, man. He might have been one of the best on the card because we caught a match with, I forget who he was wrestling. Was it Stallion, maybe?
No. It was an Italian Stallion show, but
right.
He was working babyface against some inmate.
It was probably just some worker, just some local guy.
Right.
But he was doing good work. You know, I mean, he was doing some good high spots. Well, we were scoring him. So every time he would do a high spot, we'd give him a 1 through 10, and they were usually 4 or 5.
Yeah.
We were doing that to be dicks.
Yeah.
And Mike, like you just said, we ended up breaking him.
Yeah, we broke him on that one.
I mean, he came out and said, "How's that for 10 motherfuckers?" or something like that.
Flipped us off,
gigged
man.
us, and
in front of all these kids and everything around. So
that's true.
Look, man.
That's true.
I don't see Roman Reigns doing that.
No, you don't, brother. You don't really see any professionals doing that, to be completely honest with you. And
as much shit as he gets.
That's true.
And we're just a couple guys.
And we're just a couple punks off the street, man.
Yeah.
And but Mike, we aren't just your average shitheads.
All right.
We're fucking mega shitheads.
Fair enough.
You know what I'm saying,
Fair
brother?
enough.
I mean, come on, man, because we were taking that same kind of heat that we would actually eventually be able to use in the wrestling business as workers ourselves.
Yeah.
We were using that same kind of passion to break the wrestlers, and we broke.
Yeah.
We broke them. I think we broke a couple over the years, but I remember the Chris Hammer more than any.
Yeah.
But, man, that was fun times.
Wow.
But I remember when we ran into him in the dressing room when we finally did break into the business. Nothing major.
Yeah.
Nothing major. He just went to shake our hands or talk to us. We tried.
Yeah.
I went up to him.
Hello, sir.
Yeah. I was like, hey, I'm Jason. He just looked at me, man, and just, stared at me. And I was like, okay, well, I'm going to go sit over here for a little while.
We did. We sat over there in the corner.
In the corner, man, with our little crew. And I dare say got the best fucking reaction of the night.
I think that was a fun night. That was a good night. I would say, I don't know. That battle royal at the end of the night was a lot of fun.
That was cool. But I think as far as single individual matches go, I think that you and Kris Williams, the Ultimate Weapon, I think you guys with me as his. No, I wasn't his manager. I was your manager.
Yeah.
And I think, man, that we had one of the best reactions of the night, and because we brought that youth into it.
I think you had one of the best reactions of the night.
For which part?
For getting pulled into the ring.
Oh, yeah, man. I didn't know that shit was going to happen. Welcome to wrestling, motherfucker.
Over the top rope.
That I flew.
Yeah.
God damn, I felt like Superman. I was like, oh, shit, what am I doing in here? I forget who I was working with. I think it was one of the skinheads.
No. This happened during my match with Chris, and Warren was.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Oh, that's when they beat the shit out of me for a little while.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was a good day.
Warren pulled you in over the top rope, and you wasn't even bumping at that time.
I bumped a little bit, man, but I wasn't.
I didn't think you could bump at that time because of
the back issue.
From the car wreck.
It was supposed to be limited.
Right, yeah.
But hey, man, it's
nothing
wrestling.
like that. It's like, you've fallen down, bump
I took
off
my
your
bumps.
feet.
Yeah.
But over the top rope was something a little different.
That big over bump.
Because you had never.
I think that was my first major over bump.
Yeah.
But it was pro wrestling, man.
Hey.
It's not ballet.
Yeah.
And in fact, I remember Warren, the guy who trained us and brought us into the business, when I'm down on the ground, because he slammed me too. After he pulled me in, he picked me up and he grabbed my balls, man.
Oh.
I mean, he vice gripped them motherfuckers. Slammed me down, literally scraped his his boot against my forehead. We all seen that move, and that shit hurts, man.
Yeah.
Then he slapped me, and he got my face as welcome to pro wrestling.
All right.
And I'm like, dude, thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, really, that was my reaction. Was like, hey, thanks.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like I'm in this thing now.
Right.
But no, it was unexpected, brother. I look back on that night and be like, oh shit, yeah. I mean, they put the boots to me. You know, kind of broke me in a little bit.
Yeah.
Didn't really break my attitude. I was still a shithead, but hey man, that's what I got over.
Yeah.
I mean, really, and then when I went heel, shit, man, I still, I ain't trying to brag or nothing, but I don't give a fuck what anybody says. The first night I went heel and worked in that armory, I got the biggest reaction out of any fucking heels.
Right.
I did.
Yeah.
And that was working with you and Kris Williams.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
That's
man.
true.
It is what it is. I ain't trying to brag or put myself over, man.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was.
That was.
It really was.
That was our last show with that company.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
We'll have to tell that story.
We'll tell that one a little bit later on down the line.
Yeah.
We had a separation of the ways.
Yeah.
Let's put it like that. Well, fuck it. Let's tell it now, man. You don't want to tell it now?
Yeah, let's wait on that.
You wanna?
There is a specific story I want to say for that one for a specific time.
Okay, I got you. I know what you're saying. Yeah. Got you. Okay.
But yeah, that. Other than that, though, that was a fun night with that tag match.
Oh yeah, man, yeah.
And I'm trying to remember who my partner was at that time.
Yeah, I think it was just some. It seems like they just put you with some guy.
They did.
I can't remember. Cool. It seemed like he was cool.
Yeah, he was super nice.
I can't remember to save my life, man, who you was teaming against. I just know
I took the heat that whole time.
Oh, fuck yeah, you did.
I took the heat on that whole match.
Well, you could. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, dude, the stuff that you and Kris Williams were doing was...
Who was Chris's partner?
Biff.
Biff
Beamer. Biff Beamer. Good guy, man. That guy was fucking cool.
Yeah.
And he could work his ass off.
Yeah.
And that was a good team. You know, I always kind of hated Biff didn't come with us a little bit later on down the line. You know, he could have been a game changer, man. He was good. Yeah. He was damn good.
Yeah.
And him and Kris worked phenomenally together. I mean, those two had a great chemistry, man.
Yeah.
But as far as chemistry goes, in that era, you and Kris Williams, nothing could top it, man. Right. It was always match of the night. They would always put you guys on second or third match.
Yeah.
Nobody could follow that shit.
Right.
I mean, everybody just worked that formulaic wrestling matches where you and Kris would go in there and put on a fucking clinic, man. And rookies on top of all that. It blows my mind, man. Once again, sorry for all the coughing, man. Like I said, it's
Boy, I hadn't thought about that one in a long time.
Damn, dude, what is this? The reminiscence show?
Wow.
But, yeah, dude.
We ran across a lot of characters in that time period.
Yeah, we did, brother. Well, you know, Mike, we've run across characters ever since we've known each other. I mean, you know.
That's, yeah, there's no denying that.
Jesus, man. I don't know what it is about us that has always attracted just... Maybe it's because we're characters, you know what I'm saying?
I guess, dude. I guess.
I mean, there's some people that's crossed our paths, and I'm just like, damn, man, where did y'all come from?
Right.
Man? I mean, it's like, who are you?
Oh, yeah. It's like, what?
I mean, I know everybody's different. Everybody has different personalities. Everybody perceives their life differently, and the people around them, you know, we're all different. We're all unique, and that's what makes us great.
But where did this person come from?
I was going to say, man, there's some differences and uniquenesses, and I'm just like, what the fuck, man? What? I mean, it kind of goes outside the bounds here, you know.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
At what point were you broken?
I mean Jesus, man. I tell you, bro. And I think it's just the wrestling scene in general. You know, the wrestling scene.
That's true.
It attracts so many different kinds of people.
Yeah.
I mean, it attracts, you know, obviously your jocks, you know, are attracted to it because of athletics, you know. But I think for the most part, man, it just attracts weird people, man. We're our own unique.
Yeah. I mean,
we're a subculture.
Anybody wants to do this for a living. I mean,
you got to be ape shit nuts, man. And we would do it for fucking free.
Yeah.
Free.
Yeah.
Brother.
Yeah.
That's nutty.
Yeah.
That's nutty in a squirrel turd, bro. That ain't right. I mean, you're going out here. I think the most money I made, dude, if you add it up, and I mean, I was a booker at one time, so I was, you know, in that seat for a while.
Yeah.
And I think, man, if you added up everything I made, including the $5 I found on the parking lot that one night, and I count it, man, I fucking count it. I think I might have made $25 over like what, almost 10 years.
Yeah.
Well, no, I wasn't. Well, man, we broke in about what, 97, 98. It was probably about a good 7 or 8. Yeah.
97.
And I went to about 2005, so, you know, good 8 years for me. You know? And like I said, I maybe made $25.
All right.
Don't even tell you how much I sunk into the motherfucker.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's, well, I'm $25 to the good on that.
Hey.
But yeah, it's a weird. Oh man, Jesus Christ, man! It's just a strange animal, brother.
How many of those suits did you buy?
All them Goodwill suits. a few. I actually bought a few, man.
They add up.
They add up after a while, man. Even the ones from Goodwill. You know, dude. But it was worth it. You know, I look back on them times, man. I wouldn't have traded it for anything. I wouldn't change anything. You know, it was what it was. And my time in the Millennium Wrestling Federation, you know, that entire span, up until about the very end kind of got a little weird. You know, that's why I left.
That's always the case.
It is. It always is, man.
Or you'd still be there.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly, man. Exactly. Let me go ahead and hit this one.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, but it's the truth, man. And but from the time that we started that thing until the time it started getting a little weird, Without a doubt, 100%. Up until now, it's been the best time of my life.
Yeah.
That span.
Yeah.
Because we had good people, we had good friends, good times.
Yeah.
And you know, Mike, there was always something. You know, back in my earlier days, and anybody who knows me personally knows the truth. I partied, man. I've experimented with things. You know, I've done, stuff I haven't done since the 90s. And I guess what I'm trying to say.
Experimented some more. Just to make sure. It was all right.
And then I didn't try it one more time just to be sure that I'm still sure. I mean, I had a wild streak coming up, brother. Let's put it like that, man. And I've experimented. I've tried different things. And nothing even remotely came close to that feeling you would get after a good show, man. If you could put that feeling,
true. Yeah.
Bro, I'm telling you, man, if you could put that feeling into a pill, everybody would be addicted in one day.
Oh yeah.
You can, I mean, and that was the problem, man, because it became an addiction.
Well, I don't know if we're looking at it the same way.
Right. Okay.
As far as that goes.
Is that a car alarm going off, by the way? I'm gonna go make sure that's not my car.
It might be yours.
Yeah, once you keep the PUDs occupied.
I heard that and I was like,
tell a story or something.
That might be his. It's possible. Yeah, and in town you don't want that. But there's this huge you can call it adrenaline. You can call it almost like a euphoric state. To me. You can't match that. It's hard to recreate. And for me, and I don't know if you're the same way. I don't know
back.
if you felt,
It wasn't my car.
I don't know if you felt the same way just after a show or being inside the ring.
Dude, man, it's really
because to me, it was more about being inside the ring. The stuff outside of the ring was
epic.
No, just running the show and make sure everything. Yeah. That could be stressful.
Oh fuck yeah! Oh,
that
Jesus
could be
Christ,
really stressful.
Man.
Sometimes
too stressful.
Anxiety is just like, my God, what's. Shit, what could go wrong now?
Well, it makes you question if it's worth it when you're in that position. Because you were in that position, I was in that position, and just a couple other, a very small group of people have been in our shoes with that, you know. And I don't think if a worker, like just somebody on the card, knows how much shit goes into putting on these shows. Yeah. And brother, we're not even talking about trying to get everybody on the same page. Yeah. We're just talking about getting the fucking doors open. Yeah. And that can be stressful. And like I said, man, there were times when I was in that position, I'd be like, man, I don't know if this shit's worth it. Especially after you just dropped $100 on some shit, that you need, like, fucking, I'm not getting shit back, One thing I always say, dude, and I know it was like that from the beginning, one thing I always loved about our organization and our group and our fraternity was every dollar that was ever made, man, went right back into it. Yeah. Nobody got shit out of it, man. And I don't know if people really realize that.
Oh, I know.
It's like, oh, man, look at these motherfuckers. They're writing this shit out. They're doing this. And, oh, man, they must be doing good. No, man. I mean, I didn't make shit, man. Yeah. Even when we try paying out at one point, hell, I didn't pay myself.
Right.
Exactly. I mean, well, hell, if I'm going to take $5, I'd rather just roll it back into it, you know.
And that's the thing. And so, in that part, I think, to me, being in the ring was more... To me, that was that feeling.
Oh, brother, there was nothing like it for me. That performance. You know, man, the biggest thing for me about wrestling, damn, I know this ain't even our shit, but fuck it, man. We'll just go with it, man. Right. Hell, fuck it. The thing about me that I loved about the Millennium Wrestling Federation, being in that position, more than anything, more than the performing, more than the after parties, more than that buzz you get, was just being able to write it out, man. Yeah. And see it unfold in front of me. Yeah. I know, man, one of the last bookings I did, because we had some shake-ups and we tried different combinations. I booked pretty much on my own, man, a tag team tournament. Right. And the other guys booking, man, they had to sign off on it, but they really didn't make any changes to it. It was like, yeah, it sounds good. I mean, I booked the whole fucking thing. And we ran the show. A lot of people showed up, and it really got over. Yeah. How the fuck do you explain how that feels, man? Right. I mean, I literally have this in my notebook. Yeah. Literally. I mean, I'm reading this as it's going, and then at the end, that place blows up. Yeah. And it's a good crowd. So that's cool right there, because I was promoting the show as well as booking the show. Yeah. Well, we were all promoting. You know, we all worked on that. But, man, I mean, it's hard to go back, brother. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing ever really to this day that has replaced that, man, because you know I play music, I do try to create, I do try to do things like that, but man, that kind of vibe, that kind of feeling. And I tell you something else, Mike, that always really got me off is like especially when we first started it.
Ooh, nasty.
Well, come on, man, damn it, dude, it's always about dicks with you, right?
Ooh, nasty.
Yeah, I know I say getting off you're thinking dicks right off the bat.
It got me off.
It did get me off, man. And what it was that got me off was when we would see those crowds increase. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like we'd start out with 30. Yeah. Well, now we got 40.
Right.
And I remember thinking, I can be a little pessimistic, Mike. That's a character flaw of mine. And I'm trying to be more optimistic as I get older, and I'm getting better at that. But I'd be like, man, we're never going to hit 50.
Right.
Just kind of like with the podcast, man. We'll get to 5 viewers if we're lucky, including us.
Yeah.
And then it was like, well, fuck, we just got 50.
Yeah.
We'll never break 75, guys. This is cool, though. This is cool. I'm cool with 50. Oh, shit, we just broke 75. Well, we'll never hit 100. Hey, man, we just hit 100. Hey. Nothing. Once again, brother, there's nothing.
That's true.
That you can put on that. That was, I mean, I'm almost speechless. And even talking about it now, man, because I didn't know we were going to talk about this stuff this morning. Obviously, we're just kind of jumping in this thing, but I'm getting goosebumps.
Oh, yeah.
I remember one night we left the old building, Mike. Well, I was leaving. I was by myself. I was going to the after party.
Uh-huh.
And I think, man, we had just started breaking 100 people. And it was still in that era where every show there was at least one or two more. We may get 100 and 105, then maybe 110.
Yeah.
It was still steadily increasing.
Right.
And we put on a hell of a show, man, and it got over, and that crowd, and you could feel that energy, like you were just saying about being in the ring. It's that energy exchange that you feel. And I remember, man, grinning ear to ear. I mean, I couldn't perma-grin, bro. I could not stop smiling.
Yeah. And
I had the thought that this is the best feeling that I can ever have right here, right now. Because better than any drug I ever tried when I was younger. Better than, I don't know. I don't know if I would say it's better than sex or a relationship with a woman. I don't know if I'd go quite that far.
Right.
But other than a physical relationship, I don't think anything could ever trump that feeling because
it's hard to recreate.
You can't. It can't be recreated, man. I mean, and I haven't even really ever tried, because I know it's impossible. I mean, because, man, it wasn't just about putting on a wrestling show.
Yeah.
We weren't just a bunch of workers. We were friends, man. We were a fraternity. We knew each other. I mean, we had been partying and hanging out together for years before this. Now, some new people did come in, obviously.
Yeah.
We did have a couple waves of new people. But that core, very beginning group, man, that shit formed in the clubs and bars.
Right.
It didn't form in a ring,
Yeah.
And I think that was it was lightning in a bottle is what I'm trying to say, man.
Yeah.
And like I said, bro, when I was coming home that particular night out of the old building, I could not stop smiling.
Yeah. And
I was like, this is it, man. This is why we do it. This is why we go through the fucking shit, for this,
Well, I remember one time after a show I took ecstasy, and it was like, holy shit. There was nothing like like that.
Now, that was off the fucking hook, man. I think I might have been around for that night. The Grither.
The Grither, man.
The Grither showed up for that one, bro.
The Grither.
That one. How do you make an after party even better? Ecstasy.
Ecstasy.
God damn, that was fun.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say I did it. Well, fuck yeah. Well, I did. I fucking took X. Yeah, man, we all did.
Yeah.
And we had a blast, man.
Yeah, that was wow.
Yeah, I know, man. Now we're just over here. I think today, man, we're just saying fuck it today, man.
Pretty much.
Yeah, man.
That was a crazy, crazy time.
It was, brother. It was. Like I said, man, I just look back on those days because everybody, even the people that had to lose the matches at that particular time, was all on the same page for the most part. For the most part. You always have your marks. Yeah. You're always going to have them, man. But I think that we were very fortunate that our group got it. You know what I'm saying? They got that. It wasn't about, well, I want to win. It's about the best that we can do for the show overall.
I know you talked about like the tag tournament.
Yeah.
Was that would you consider that your height of booking? That peak?
No.
That peak moment?
No, I wouldn't say it was my peak. I would say it was definitely the last stand. You know what I'm saying? That was definitely the last big one that I hold on to. Man, I think the peak of my booking is when me, Christo, and David was doing it. And, well, you know, that was the only time I did do it, you know, really, because that last, like I said, man, that last little section I was booking with a couple other guys, just, it wasn't the same. I don't know really probably the end of the feud between COP and Kane Enterprises, you know,
really?
Booking some of that stuff. Because, man, that's when we were hitting like 100. You know, man, it was probably that Brawl Game show where I bled all over the fucking place.
That was the end of that. That feud. That run.
I think, man, that was probably...
That was nasty.
That was gross, bro. I fucked up. Yeah. I fucked up on that one. But goddamn, it got over, man. It looked good. I mean...
It was.
It got over. It was bad. I mean...
It was bad.
For anybody out there who probably doesn't know exactly what we're talking about, we had a cage match, and it was like almost like a War Games type match. Where the winner, you had to win the match by making somebody on the other team submit. Yeah. It was only a submission.
Yeah.
Man, I took a goody powder because I was going to get color. I was going to cut myself. I was going to bleed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's what I'm trying to say here. Took a goody powder. I had the blade in my hand. I was going to do it right off the bat. You know, I was going to do it as soon as I got in there. I had the blade in my hand, and I got it rammed into the cage on the outside. I dropped my blade. Yeah. I dropped it. I was like, oh fuck, man, you know, I can't find my blade. You know, everybody's like, JD, you know, I was a good guy. I'm sorry, I was a baby face.
Yeah.
I was the team leader. I was the captain of that team.
Yeah.
Which, bro, if you want to know what it feels like to have 200 some people scream your name when your music hits and you're the last motherfucker going in a ring, if you can put that in a pill, I will buy every fucking one you got.
Yeah.
And I will go in debt and I will take that shit every day because that was unfucking describable what that felt like. But anyway, man, I dropped my blade. I'm being picked up off the ground. I see it. So, man, in one motion, I just come up, I bring it, and I just get my head. I gig myself. Water works, brother. I mean, I bled, dude. I was squirting that shit, man.
Oh, man.
I finished the match.
That was bad.
We took the match to the limit. You know, we did. But I think it really helped put it over because you had to submit for me.
Yeah.
That was the whole gimmick. Yeah. You submitted, and it showed, even though we were heels in the past, it put over that we were friends and that we were partners.
Yeah.
And with all that blood, man, I don't know if it would have got over without it, Mike. You know, I mean,
I know.
I mean, I remember seeing people getting up and leaving because they were disgusted, and I'm like, yes, I got him. I hate to say it.
It was nasty.
Excuse me, but it was gross.
I wound up. I thought I had separated my shoulder in that match.
Yeah,
going in shoulder first to the cage, and it hit right in the middle of it. And I was like, oh shit! You know, something's not right. Yeah, something's not right with that arm. It just hit like really hard on that shoulder, and I actually went to the hospital that night just to make sure that it wasn't separated.
See, man, I don't remember that, but I don't remember a lot from that night.
Yeah, I mean, that was.
I don't know if you know this, man, but you know, obviously everybody was still partying over at your house. You know, that's when I was living across the street. My girlfriend I was living with at the time lived right directly across the street from you. Yeah. And so we went back over there, and she was like, I'm taking you to the hospital, because I did lose a lot of blood.
Right.
I did. I lost.
So we went the same time, separate time.
I didn't go. I didn't go. You know me, I'm stubborn, man. I mean, I could literally lose half the blood in my body and not go to the fucking doctor. That is still persisted to this day. I'm still like that.
Yeah.
It's just, something else I got to work on as I get older. But I remember going, and I was like telling her, I'm like, well, I don't want to go to the after party. I feel fucking weird.
Yeah.
You know, I just want to chill.
Yeah.
I drank a beer.
Really?
A couple friends of ours came over to hang out. You know, we were smoking some dope, you know, shit. Like a couple of the potheads came over and we smoked a little bit. Bro, I don't know if it was the weed, the beer, or the blood loss. It was probably a combination of all three. But I remember my girlfriend at the time said, Jason. I'm like, what? She was like, we're going to the hospital. I'm like, why? She's like, you're out of it. I've been trying to talk to you for a couple minutes now. And I'm like, no, if we go anywhere, we're going across the street. And that's where we went.
Yeah.
And then just kept on partying, man. I mean, obviously, I got through it and got better. But I just remember walking over, and I think it was Dustin. And he said, hey, bro, you're bleeding. And I mean, I still have blood coming. I mean, I was wrapped up, and I looked like the fucking mommy.
Yeah.
Really, you know. But that night, man, to go back to what we were originally talking about, I think that was my peak of booking, you know. And just really, I think that was the peak of my time in the MWF, because it was still riding high after that.
Right.
But, you know, well, fuck it. Since we're giving the history here, you know, just to kind of give my side of what happened, man. Eventually, me and that girl I was with, I was living with, engaged to, and everything, we split. You know, things went south. It was a rough fucking time, man. I had a hard time with that. And, you know, man, when I'm going through a breakup, I'm going through a heartbreak, and then I have, you know, my partners, my booking partners, hey, man, are you going to fucking book today or not?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know,
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I just got to take a step back.
Yeah.
And, you know, I relinquished my position to the outlaw Keith Matthews, man, who is still to this day running that shit, man. I mean, brother, if... You know,
I know, it's crazy.
It's a trip to me when I look back on it, because I'm like, I know I made the right call giving it to him, because he's still keeping it going, bro.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, exactly.
But with that being said, and I know Jeff listens to this show, man, and I know, you know, David Hayes listens to it as well, you know, but I will put it out there. I don't think they ever had the same chemistry like me and David and Stowe had.
Right.
You know, I just don't think Jeff had that same piece of the puzzle.
Right.
Jeff's a great booker, man. He's a great guy. I mean, Jesus Christ, man, if he wasn't the shit at what he did, he wouldn't have been given that position to begin with.
Exactly.
You know, and even like when you were booking, man, I know I would still talk with you, and we would still have that back and forth. And I just think when Jeff came into it, it did lose a little something, man. Right. At least as far as I am concerned, you know.
Yeah.
And even Stowe and Dogs would tell you the same thing, man. It just wasn't the same vibe. And eventually, you know, Jeff became the only booker.
Right.
And like I said, man, he's carrying that fucking flag today, and God bless him for it, man. I mean, I couldn't imagine a Lincoln County or Lincoln without the MWF at this point.
Yeah, I know.
And you know, it's
a staple, man.
It is.
I think back probably a year before that, to I guess it was the second Brawl Games. Right. The first one, the cage.
Yeah.
That was I always
yours.
consider that my peak of booking.
Yeah.
To that point.
You know, man, I always
everything after that was kind of like, God, you know,
where do we go from here?
Well, I think we were in a good place where we were going.
Yeah.
I think we were in a good. I tried some different stuff.
Right.
And I think by that point I probably put too much faith in people to get stuff over that I could see going on in my head.
Yeah.
That just didn't
get over.
It didn't get over.
And you know, Mike,
it didn't work.
Something, man, I don't even think we've ever talked about this. So we're going to do it right here on the podcast. That's one thing, man, if I could give you any criticism back in that day, is you never really had anybody to bounce that off of. You know, in other words, you never had a vote.
Yeah.
You know, and I know exactly what fucking angle you're talking about. I know an angle.
Yeah.
And I would have been the first one to say, hey, bro, we can't do that right now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? However,
which one? What?
The speaking, the angel gimmick, the speaking in tongues and shit. You know what I'm talking about? I don't want to put names out there.
Yeah, no. Excuse me. We got to put it out there. I mean,
well, it was the Michael gimmick with the dark angel or the fallen. I can't remember what it was now. You know, like when he was talking through the ring announcer.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I would have probably been like, but I liked the
talking through the ring announcer.
Yeah. When he possessed him, you know.
Right. Okay. Yeah. That was too far. That was probably too far. I liked everything else about it.
I liked the angle though.
I liked the production of it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Coming up out of there with the smoke and everything.
Yeah. That was badass, man.
I love that. Yeah. I absolutely love that. I wanted to get weird with it.
Yeah, and it did.
It did. It just
didn't get over, man.
It didn't work how I saw it in my head.
Right.
You know, with getting it over.
Right.
And damn, you know, God damn, that could have been awesome.
It could have been, man. But I think it goes back to what you're saying, dude, because the people that were involved with the angle weren't ready for that yet.
No.
You know what I'm saying? But you know, man, like I said, that was. I look at book because I never got to book by myself. Mm-hmm. And I don't know to this day if it would have worked or not. You know what I'm saying? Because I would have Chris and Dodd like, dude, you can't do that. I'll tell you the worst was, and I know he's listening, David Hayes, I'm talking straight to you.
Oh, nice.
You talk about, let me tell you about David Hayes' booking, man. First of all, David Hayes is one of the best friends I have, man. I have a very select few people that I call my friends. Mm-hmm. He's one of them. Obviously, you're one of them. And there's not a whole hell of a lot of others. I mean, that I call to that level.
Yeah.
The thing about David Hayes, man, he is probably, without a doubt, the best performer the MWF's ever had.
Yeah.
He wasn't the best talker. I was the best talker. Mm-hmm. He wasn't the best technical worker. You were the best technical worker. That's just how it is, man. You know, you got Brandon, you got some other people up there that I would put in that same category. All around, getting it, putting out a story to the crowd.
Right.
interpreting that, the dance, as they say.
Yeah.
You show me a motherfucker better than David Hayes, man. You show it to me.
Right.
I need to see that for myself.
Yeah.
Nobody else could do what he could do, man.
Yeah.
I would get so entertained watching his matches as his manager, I would lose my fucking spots.
Oh, yeah, dude.
I mean, I would become a mark. Yeah, I'd be like, oh, shit. He'd be like, get up there. And I'm like, oh, fuck, yeah, sorry, man. I'm watching the match. I mean, really. But the thing about his booking, just like he is one of the best, if not the best performer I've ever seen in the ring, he is so creative, man. Kind of like what you were talking about with that angle that you had.
Right.
It's creative as fuck. And in your mind, it'll get over.
Yeah.
But Dogs and me both had that thing in common where we had to be riled back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, whoa, man, you're going too far, too fast. I was like that, too.
Yeah.
Christo was the fucking anchor.
Yeah.
Christo would be like, so you're
I like that far, though. I like that far.
Yeah, but, man, you just don't know, man, because if it goes south, it goes south hard.
I know.
It goes south so hard. And here's the thing, man. You didn't have anybody to really bounce these things off. So it was your word.
Right.
You know, what your word went.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of freedom in that. And there's a lot of shit you don't stress about. But, brother, you don't know stress until you and two of your best friends are fucking arguing with each other for 3 fucking hours trying to figure out who should go over between, Jacob Stone and Tim Finnegan, man. I mean, I'm just saying.
That's got to be tough, too.
I'm just throwing, man, because
on that side, that's just got to be tough just to...
I had to quit.
Yeah.
I mean, when me and my ex split and that was going on, I was like, man, it's too much. I can't do it. And
because you can't make that just decision.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Man. You got to get everybody on the same page.
Right.
But the good part about that, the advantage to that is I remember, I'm not going to say who the two people I had in this feud that I had in my head.
Right.
Just like you were saying, man, in my head, this shit's going to be over.
Right.
Christo looks at me and says, so you're really going to put so-and-so and so-and-so in the ring together. Who's the fuck's going to drive that? I'm like, I didn't think about that.
I know. God damn it.
You know what I'm saying?
I know.
Because Christo would always say, guys, the name on the marquee is Pro Wrestling. We got to get that bell to bell. And I'm like, well, but I got this novel in my head that ain't even taking place in a ring, man. It's all vignettes and promos and angles.
Yeah. And I was bad about that too.
Yeah.
On the second round of booking.
Yeah.
I loved that shit.
Yeah.
I loved it. I loved putting that shit in there. It was wacky shit.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, was it the best shit? No, but it was the most entertaining shit.
It was entertaining.
It was fucking entertaining. And if nothing else, it was entertaining to me.
You,
so fuck it. But
man.
Yeah, I mean, I think I was, talking about that Brawl Games, that first cage, I was that anchor to myself.
Yeah.
Until after that.
Yeah.
And I started thinking more of like, okay, can we do this wacky stuff?
Yeah, start kind of incorporating.
Can we do something different?
Right.
Because we've peaked right here at this a great story.
Yeah.
And this incredible struggle.
And it climaxed.
Yeah. So we're going to have to build something up for this coming year.
Right.
What can we do? And just with the wacky stuff and just, it's just...
It could go one of two ways.
It can.
Yeah.
It can.
And that's the thing, man. And something else.
Think about. See, I didn't think you were thinking about that part, because I absolutely love that.
Dude,
that was to me just like, oh man, this is great.
If it would have worked, it'd have been the shit, man. I mean, but it didn't.
What I called the unseven.
I thought that was fucking great, man.
And that was when I was done. I thought it was great. I thought it was incredible. And so many people balked on me on that.
Dude.
And that's when I left.
I'm going to be honest with you. If I was booking with you or if you would have run that off me, I'd have said, fuck yeah, go for that.
Yeah.
I would have, man. There's no way.
Perfect.
I thought so.
It was perfect. It just did not come out like I had envisioned.
The guy that you had in that position was not ready.
No.
He was a good guy, and I think he had potential, but he just was not ready for that
But the guy coming back, too, was
not in that position.
No.
He just wasn't, man. Not at that time.
No.
It was too much. It just didn't get... Well, dude, I'll tell you one that didn't get over. Now, Jesus, man, fuck it. Let's just talk about old wrestling shit, man. Fuck it, man. I'll fix the artwork when I get home. But, man, I'll tell you something that I used to do. And a lot of my booking ideas, because I don't even know if we've even talked about this, but, I was roommates with this was before me and my ex got together and I moved in with her. And I was booking before that. But my ex-roommate at the time was our ring announcer. Shroncy. Just go ahead and put it down there. I was living with Shroncy.
Yeah.
And anybody who knew me and Chauncey and knew that era of my life, you know what I was just talking earlier about experimenting and doing things and having fun, doing this and that. That was during that time.
Right.
That was with Chauncey. He was my partner, man.
Yeah.
We would do shit. Well, man, you know, we had this fun little thing of where we would just get high as balls. I mean, I'm talking high as giraffe balls, bro, and talk wrestling.
Right.
A lot of shit that I would bring to the table in our booking meetings was shit that me and Chauncey would get stoned and talk about. I never told Stowe and Dogs.
Yep.
Because, oh, man, y'all just smoking a lot of dope and coming up with some stupid shit. I would be like, hey, man, I had this idea. I would say about 90% of it got through. No shit.
Really?
No shit. They also didn't know till later on that I smoked a fat fucking joint every time before I walked in that booking meeting. Because, man, Christo, anybody who knows Christo don't go for that shit, man. He's cool, man. He never judged. He never looked down. But he's straight edge, man. He don't go for that shit. Yeah. And I remember we were talking years later, and I said, y'all do realize that every fucking show, man, I would put that joint out in the parking lot, right? So it's like, really? I'm like, dude, I felt that it was a downplay to you guys if I didn't come high. In other words, I felt like I was doing us a disservice if I didn't come high, man, because it would get my creative juices going, man. Yeah. It did. Yeah. It made me lazy as a motherfucker, but I could think of some good wrestling angles.
Well, see, that was that was a situation. You know, it's funny you should bring that up because after Brawl Games, that first cage, I was smoking a lot.
Yeah, I remember that. And you had some stuff going on outside of the ring.
Sure.
I think we all were dealing with some stuff here and there.
Just personal stuff, and it was like everything was kind of coming in. It's like, oh my god,
give me that joint. I need
this.
I need to unplug for a little while.
Boom. Yeah, but that's where I would come up with some of the wacky stuff and just kind of. Just some of the other stuff. I'm trying to think of something else from that era.
Well, the one I was going to bring up that Chauncey came up with that I took to the table and they actually
he's
passed.
He's a funny motherfucker.
Dude, Chauncey at his time.
Funny motherfucker.
Not only was he funny, man, but he was creative too.
He would put me in tears.
Oh, man.
Some of the shit he would do.
And just to see what happened to him, I don't want to go into all that shit, man, but he took a left turn. Mm-hmm. Let's put it like that. Yeah. We went down two completely separate roads. Yeah. We don't speak. We haven't spoken in years and years. So it's a sad thing, but it is what it is. Right. But man, he would. I mean, he was hilarious, man. He was once again, he was one of those best friends that I had. I mean, hell, man, me, you and Chauncey hung out and did shit all the fucking time, man. I mean, I mean, we were the Nitro parties, and I mean, you know,
before the Nitro.
Yeah, I mean, we were always hanging out, man. Chauncey was always around,
shooting bottle rockets out of cars.
I mean, that shit was so much fun, man. I mean. I miss Chauncey.
Yeah.
You know, I look back, man, and I wish shit could have been differently. And who knows, man, maybe one day we can get back on the same track. I would love that. Yeah. You know, I would love for Chauncey to come back. Hey, man, everything's cool now. I got my issues worked out. Right. You know, I want to get back in this life. And, I'd be right there. But, you know, can't do that until that happens, you know, obviously. But man, the idea that I was going to say, we had AG Smooth. I think he was. I think
great idea.
Right off the bat, bro.
Right off the bat.
No, it wasn't actually, man. It didn't turn out like we thought. But we were smoking. You know, we're getting high as fuck. We're drinking. You know, it's like a Tuesday night or some shit. We're talking about MWF and trying to say, hey man, you know what you ought to do with Alex because he wasn't AG yet. Mm-hmm. I was like, what? He said, man, you should make him like a mini me to JD. And dress him up like you and give him a stick. We did that. And we did that for a short period of time. AG, God bless him. He's one of the best people I've ever met in my life. I love AG Smooth. Like, you just couldn't imagine.
Yeah.
He was not the right guy for that. Yeah. AG has to be AG.
Yeah.
Period. You cannot put a gimmick on him.
But he had a little guy at that time, right?
No, I think Billy McGee had left at that point.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was gone at this point. Yeah. I think after Stowe splashed him, man, he said, "Fuck this, I'm leaving."
Yeah, but he got his comeback on that, didn't he?
I can't remember, bro.
I thought he got it on Chris Kane.
I think he did. I think he did get a payback on that.
Now, was that when he had to go to the hospital, or?
Who, Chris?
Yeah.
No, that was that Brawl Games.
Which one?
I think it was the third one, if I'm not mistaken.
The one
where I bled.
We all had to go to
I think we all ended up in the hospital. Well, except for me. I mean, hell, but I should have. I should have. Yeah. That's just a technicality, man, because my dumb ass should have went up there and got stitched up, you know. Yeah. Except throwing some duct tape on it and rubbing some dirt on it. But, I think he did, man. You know, I don't want to talk about that guy too much. Me and him just do not get along. Yeah. We haven't for a long time and never will. So, you know, I don't want to put too much out there because I don't want to just bash people. But, you know,
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no.
I mean, I think if people could land better and knew what they were doing, maybe they wouldn't have gone to the hospital. So I'm going to say. And moving on.
Hey, motherfucker, that was a cage. That was my shoulder.
Yeah. Just saying. Well, certain people didn't bitch and cry about it for fucking 2 years either.
That's true.
I'm going to say.
That's true.
You know, hey, man, it ain't fucking ballet, man. It ain't ballet. But
the one I thought, and I'm going to have to stir the memory pot on this one. And goddamn, it's the one I wanted to do, and I can't remember who we had talked to. If it had been talked about, if y'all had talked about it, was with Alex,
right?
And doing the
Moral one thing, the Terrace,
the Terrace gimmick.
Do you know why we didn't do it? I'm glad you bring that up, because I remember, Mike, just a little history, man. At this point, you had stepped back from booking and took some time away.
Yeah.
You needed some time away.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, if anybody ever needed a break, it was you.
Yeah.
And so when you came back, man, or right when you were about to come back, me, Christo, and David Hayes were booking the shows. But me and you would still talk. I would take a lot of your ideas to them as well, like that ladder match, which to this day is one of my favorite matches
That's
of all
still
time.
one of the best. Goddamn.
With Robbie and Dan, Jesus Christ, man, that was your idea.
Yeah,
and
I still say that was one of the best ones I've ever watched.
And like I said, dude, and I put all the credit on that booking to you, because I even went to the shows like, hey man, me and Mike are talking. He got an idea. I want to put it on the table. And those guys were always like, yeah, man, let's hear it. I put it on the table like, fuck yeah, let's book it. Done and done.
That was so much fun.
Oh man, they just got over so well on that shit, man. Excuse me, but fuck, where were we going? I know we were just saying how Moral one, yeah. So me and you were talking once again. I'm smoking a joint, drinking a beer. I think you're taking shots of tequila, and you're like, hey man, why don't you do a Terrace gimmick? Because 9/11 hadn't been that long. It'd been long enough.
Yeah, we'd probably been a year or so out.
Yeah, from that. Yeah. It was still recent enough, but I think enough time had passed where we could bring in a. Yeah. So those guys were down, man. Stowe and Dodd were like, fuck yeah, let's give it a shot. One thing I'll say about when the three of us were booking and when you were coming back, they were always really receptive to hear your ideas. Mm-hmm. Yeah, always, man. It's something I always appreciated about that. Yeah. Because you never know. You never know how it's going to go. You don't know, Yeah. But they were always really receptive. So, they were like, yeah, let's do it. So me and Stowe took Marwan to decide, or AG to decide. And we're like, okay, man, we want you to do this gimmick, He's like, okay. And Christo's like, look, just say this. Iran number, just the old Iron Sheik thing, man. It was verbatim from the Iron Sheik. We would say, just say Iran, Iraq number 1, America, Tui. Just say that, brother. Yeah. Let's hear you say it. We want to hear you say it. Right. He was like, Iran, Iraq, Tui, USA number 1. Stowe's like, stop right there. Stowe grabbed me, dude, by the arm and literally physically drugged me to the side. He's like, we ain't doing this. And I was like, okay.
The stupid goddamn thing I've ever heard in my life.
He did, man. He was like, stop right there. Yeah, he gave that look he gives. Yeah, you know the look. And he grabbed me. He literally physically drugged me by the arm because I think he's
damn it, dude.
Yeah, I mean, really. He's like, this is the shit you're bringing me? I was like, okay, man, okay. Well, you're just gonna be Alexander the Great.
Yeah.
And you're just, yeah, man. We're just gonna stick with that.
Yeah.
But of course, now later on, AG became AG.
Yeah.
Still not exactly what we were going for,
right?
But it worked out a lot better because he got to be himself.
Yeah,
AG was just one of those guys, man.
That's true.
For one, man, he only really could be himself.
Yeah,
let's just call it, man. He wasn't an actor. He's not. He's not. And you got to have some acting chops to pull off a gimmick like that. You do. You have to have a little bit of acting. AG didn't have it.
Right.
And the second thing is, brother, I don't really think that AG should have been anybody but AG from the fucking beginning, man. Just because of who he is. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that brings us to...
Wait a minute.
My second time booking with Jeff later on. And my idea, let's bring this...
Let's do it. Let's do it. Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's just see.
And you guys had a run with it, right? Let's just see.
Yeah. I don't think it got over as well as it could have. Or should have. It should have, in my mind anyway. But it produced some of the funniest bits and vignettes
ever.
Still, to this day.
Ever.
Because he's so unintentionally funny.
Yeah, that's the thing about AG, brother. Yeah. He doesn't. Once again, is why he didn't need a gimmick. He just be you. Just be you.
Yeah.
You know? But even with the gimmicks, it was still, you know.
I know with him, and you know, even back then, you know, you'd have a guy do a video, whatever, and you kind of give him the groundwork, you know,
bullet points, if you will.
Hey, just do this, cover this, and talk.
Yeah,
and they could pretty well hit it.
You got 2 minutes, hit this, and this.
Yeah. Even with Alex, I had never even heard of this before, but I mean, you just had to write everything down.
Yeah.
And it still wouldn't come out right at all.
Yeah.
Like, we just spend like so much time on those videos just trying to get something right.
48.
Right.
Take 49.
Yeah.
Take it from the top.
Yeah. It was so, and there's still some out there. You could probably dig them up.
I was gonna say I think YouTube has some of his old vignettes on there. Yeah.
I know he was in this one feud with the Misfit Mike Levy.
Right.
And the video I had in my head was he was making fun of Mike Levy. You know, he would come out of this closet. That was unintentional. That was very unintentional.
Oh yeah.
But somehow
he wound up in the closet,
coming out of the closet, and but he had this mop on his head. Okay.
Oh, I remember this
because Mike Levy at that time had long blonde hair.
Right.
Had this mop on his head, and what I wanted him to do was come out of there singing, the Rudolph song. I'm not, why am I such a misfit?
Right.
I would give him the exact words to sing that, and it never came out how that song
just didn't work.
Oh my God!
But the end result was hilarious.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because he came out, I can't remember the whole thing. I've watched it 100 times over the years, man. Because that clip's probably a good 13 years old. Well, maybe not. Well,
yeah,
maybe by this point it's over 10.
2004, 2005.
Well, I was still around in 2005.
Were you?
Yeah, that was the year I retired. Right before I hit 30. I was 29 when I walked out. And I was about 2 months away from hitting 30. That was always my thing. I'm not going to be in it if I'm 30 if I'm not making money.
All right.
That was kind of my thing. And I wasn't making money. And I don't think I was going to be making money, so I left, yeah. Well, that was also...
No, it couldn't have been.
Yeah, man, because
No, it was way before that.
Nah, brother.
Had to be.
Nope. I'm telling you, brother. I was around in 2005. At the very, I would say, man, I probably left around, I would say April or May of 2005. I think I got it down somewhere, man.
You're gonna have to look at that.
I'll look it up, man, because I have my last match on my computer, and I'm pretty sure the date's on there, so I'll find out man, for sure. Yeah. But I'm thinking I was 29, man. That I remember. I know I was 29 because that was my thing. I'm not doing it when I'm 30.
Right.
I'm not raking in something, because I think the love and the not love, man. I still love it.
Yeah,
I still do. I've not been in it in years, but I still love it. But I think that passion about starving artist, doing it for the love of the craft, I think that shit started kind of taking a back seat.
Yeah,
especially when I wasn't really in the creative role. I mean, I was, man. When I left, I was booking. I actually got to book my last match. Something that I'm really proud that I can say that I was able to do. In fact, man, let me tell you about that because I got a little bit of a funny Christo story with that. Basically, man, toward my last days with the MWF, the winds had changed. Let's put it like that, man. The winds had changed. At this point, the Outlaw was booking exclusively. I think Dogs and Stowe had both stopped booking at this point. Jeff had a different booking philosophy, than we did, and I think we know that. We've gone over that a bunch over the years. We know that, and it was also, like I said, man, there was a lot of personal shit going on in the background. We were getting older, getting into our 30s, at least for me. And I know Christo, and David both said that, hey, man, we're leaving. Yeah. And I was like, well, I don't want to leave. I want to stick around. And there was a couple other guys who were wanting to leave as well. Like I said, man, the course had been changed, man. It just had been. And the numbers had died a little bit. And I think, man, there was just there was a demoralization going on. And I was definitely demoralized, man.
Especially coming out of the big building.
Right. See, that was something else. We lost the building. Yeah. You know, we lost our headquarters, our home base. You know, we were doing okay in Howards Creek, and even in Gastonia, we were running some shows. We were doing okay, man. We were hanging in there.
Yeah.
But, I mean, like I said, dude, when you had, you know, these few people who wanted to leave, and two of those people were, like, really at the heart of this thing, man. Yeah. You know, I always say, even though we all weren't around all at the same time and we were sporadic, me, you, Christo, and David Hayes were the heart, man. Yeah. At that time, for that era. For that beginning up until around this time. We just were, man. Of course, Jeff became the heart and soul and still is. He's still carrying that banner. You know, so everybody had decided to leave. And I decided to stick around, you know. Fuck it, and I'm going to go into some detail here, man. Fuck it. You heard it here first on the podcast, because some of this stuff I've always kind of kept under the radar, you know, kind of been kind of cool about, but fuck it, I'm going to put it out there, man. So I decided to stick around, you know. Once again, had some personal shit going on. Well, everybody, we decided to have, you know, this last show for us. And I decided to stick around and book with Jeff. Me and Jeff were going to book. Brother, the very first fucking week we tried to come up with something, we were hitting brick walls, butting heads. Basically, an old guy, Dustin Destiny, had made an inquiry about coming back.
Right.
Dustin had heat on him, man, in the back at this particular time. A lot of people just didn't like Dustin. You know, I think a lot of people, to be completely fucking honest, man, I think a lot of people were jealous of Dustin. I mean, just to put it out there, man, because Dustin was the shit. Yeah. My first reaction was like, fuck yeah. You know, we can put him over, man. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Hell yeah. Well, dude, I'm at a party, you know, and I had a shitload of people come up to me and says, we don't want Dustin back. Almost damn near the whole roster. Right. I mean, they were lined up to talk to me. I'm like, well, why not? Well, man, he was cocky. He was this, he was that. You know, fuck him, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay. Well, you know, and I had, like I said, man, I had about 4 people come up and say this to me. And these 4 people had been around, and they had been staples in the group. Yeah. And I'm like, well, okay, if y'all don't want to do it, you know, then we won't do it. You know, I mean, that's how I felt about it, man. Right. You know, looking back, I made the wrong call. I should say, fuck y'all, we're bringing him back anyway because he's going to get over. That should have been what I did. Right. So, you know, like I said, man, in hindsight, brother, you get older, you look back, you know, but I also had loyalty to these people, man. Right. You know, we were still together, you know, Dustin been gone for a while, but these guys, and when we lost the building, they were there, they were soldiers, you know. Right. And Jeff was 100% for bringing Dustin back. Yeah. I was too, you know, up until I talked to these people. So I go up to Jeff and I say, look, man, I don't think we should bring Dustin back. You know, I'm like, so-and-so, 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 and so-and-so all said that they don't want him back. Well, Jeff's like, well, all those people told me they were cool with it. See what I'm saying? Right. These people were telling Jeff they were cool. They were telling me they weren't. Like, they would tell Jeff what they thought he wanted to hear, but they would be honest with me. Right. And I think it was because we partied together and we were, you know, because even Christo and David Hayes were always a little removed from the group.
You tend to speak, I don't even want to say truthfully, but you tend to speak your mind whenever you're on different substances.
Exactly. When everybody's partying. And I think there was just a more comfort. I mean, dude, I'm approachable. I've always been approachable. Yeah. You know, I mean, where I think Stowe, Dogs, and even Jeff to a certain degree at that time, man, because they weren't around as much after the shows. Right. You know, they were actually working.
Definitely is just intimidating.
He is. He's a big guy, you know, and he's legit. He was the most legit motherfucker we've ever had. And they didn't party. They didn't come because they were actually, God forbid, having to work and put the fucking ring up. Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I mean, they were actually still working while I'm over here getting fucked up with everybody. They're still actually, you know, trying to put in some time on this thing. So that and man, with all my friends leaving, you know, like, you know, Stowe was gone, you know, you were still gone, Dogs was gone, some other people were leaving. You know, that I was still cool with at the time. I'm like, well, fuck, man. You know, me and Jeff, because I remember I said something to Jeff along the lines. I was like, well, you can bring him back, but I'm not booking him. Right. That's what I said. He'll just sit in the fucking back. Yeah. And I think about 2 hours later, I was like, nah, man, this ain't worth it. You know, because Jeff's my friend, man. Still to this day is my friend. Yeah. And I'm like, now we got tension. We're butting heads. These motherfuckers are telling people different shit. So that's when I bowed out, man. And this was before we had our last show. So we were still booking that final show. So anyway, man, to kind of circle back around to the funny Christo story, is I got to book the last show. Well, me, a guy named Justin was leaving, a guy named Will was leaving, and obviously Dogs was leaving, and I think Stowe was leaving, but it seems like it was me, Justin, Will, and Dogs were all on the same team.
Right.
And we were all leaving. That whole crew, and we were the ones who were over. We were were the main events at this point.
Yeah.
So my idea was to put Brandon Powers, who was staying and who was the shit, man. One of the best, if not the best. I mean, he's up there, bro. He was up there. Great worker, really over, man. Most popular guy they had at the time, as far as baby faces go.
Yeah.
So it was my idea to put him in my least favorite match, and that's a fucking gauntlet match. I hate gauntlet matches. They make no sense. There's no psychology. But we're all leaving. I say, let's put him over, let him beat the whole fucking team, and then put him over and leave him on top.
Right.
that was my intention. I'm like, he's going to beat everybody just back to back to back. We all leave. We leave him on top of the fucking mountain for this next generation to come in, which is what we did.
Right.
You know, and I got in the ring. I got pinned. You know, I got to book all that. It was special to be able to do that. But Christo calls me up a couple days later. He's like, man, can you believe how they ended that fucking show with a goddamn gauntlet match? Who booked that shit? And you got to remember, me and Christo to this day are like really good friends, if not best friends, you know. I was like, brother, for real, bro, for real. Dead. I was like, Stowe, I booked it. He was like, oh, why? What? And so I told him what I just told you. You know, what I just said. I told him that whole thing. Yeah. And he was like, okay, man, that makes sense. He's like, I just hate fucking gauntlet matches. Yeah. I said, I do too, bro. Yeah. But, man, I was like, yeah, that was me, bro. I came up with that. He was like, who booked this shit?
All right.
Me. Me. But, you know, but like I said, man, that's something that I will always hold that pretty dear to myself, man, that I actually got to book how I left. Yeah. And, you know, and I'm proud of the fact that I booked that to put Brandon over. I mean, like I said, man, you just beat 3 of the top guys we had. Right. And then pinned my ass and then beat me up and got that last final payback on me. And, yeah, man, that's something I will always, like I say, I'll hold that dear. Yeah. I really will, man. That was unbelievable. But, Mike, bro, we're about an hour into the show.
Yeah, man. How about that?
I say we take a break, play a song. I figured, man, we'll go back to that Gunpowder Gray band that we played when Wayne was on the show.
Yeah, that works.
Revolver, brother. Yeah. That song's been stuck in my head. And so I want to put that out there, and it goes out to somebody, you know, who, you know, I'm not going to put out who it is or anything, but this goes out to somebody special. And anyway, the name of the band is Gunpowder Gray. The name of the song is Revolver. Don't go nowhere. The PUDs will be right back.
The Black Widow and the Widow Hello, this is Papa Jack from WTAUP Ridge Nation. You are listening to the PUDcast with Mike and Jason. Kick it in the ass, take a name. Yeah.
All right, Puds. The name of that band, once again, was Gunpowder Gray. The name of that song was Revolver. Mike, brother, I love that tune, man. It has been stuck in my head all week. Just another one of them great independent bands that you people out there need to support. Once again, if you can't afford the album, you can always share the link. We will have the link up on our page. Check it out. Share it. Tell your friends, because this is a jamming song, and that's a jamming band, brother. Buy the album. We're going to put all the information up. You're going to be able to find it. If you're listening to my voice, then you can find our Facebook page, and you can find all the information you can find about Gunpowder Gray. Support them.
Yeah.
So, Mike, brother.
Yep.
So we had decided, we had a show lined up for today.
Uh-huh.
And I think we're just going to take that show in.
Okay.
Because I really enjoyed talking about our time in the Millennium Wrestling Federation.
Kind of happened on accident.
Dude, we didn't even plan on it. No, I mean, we had a plan. I mean, I swear to God, we had a plan. And, you know, as with life, man, sometimes plans change.
That's right.
Sometimes, you know, not for the best, sometimes for the best. And I think this show...
You just got to go with it.
Got to go with it, man. You know, we were even talking on break, you know, some people out there may not like this show as much as some of our other shows, but I'm loving this show.
Yeah.
I mean, this is something, you know, a lot of this stuff we never talked about, man. You know, after all these years, 20-some years, we've never really sat down and talked about some of this stuff. And, you know, one thing I do want to clarify, Mike, and just something I want to talk about briefly. You know, when I was talking about, like, when the Outlaw came in and started booking with Two Dogs and with the Ultimate Weapon, how that chemistry just wasn't there, man. That was in no way a shot at Jeff's booking. You know, I wanted to put that out there, man.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if it came across like that, because Jeff's one of the best friends I've got, man. I need to get up with Jeff. I've actually been meaning to call him for a couple of weeks now. I'm slack, man. I'm slack on that shit. I just am. I'm a slacker. But dude, no one has supported us more than Jeff.
Oh, yeah. And
I love the MWF to this day, man. I'm always going to be Team MWF, man. I'm always going to be that's my fraternity. Yeah. As long as that motherfucker's going, then I know I have a home. Yeah. I mean, seriously, man. Right. And so I just wanted to make that clear, man. And I'll even go as far as to say that I don't think that there's anybody else who could have stepped in that role better than Jeff. Yeah. Because like I said, man, it's still going today. Yeah. I don't give a fuck, man. In 20 years, I don't care, dude, if other wrestling groups come in. We'll talk about that at some point. But I don't care, man. If other groups come in, I don't care if this and that goes on. I guarantee you the MWF will always be standing, man. They're not going anywhere. Yep. They're a staple of this community. They're a staple of this town. And God bless them for it, Mike, because if I'd have had my way when I left, there probably wouldn't be an MWF today. Right. And I got to admit that to myself and to the people. Yeah. You know, man. That's right. I mean, really, dude, because... And me and Jeff even had some tension back in those days. Yeah. You know, because it's funny. You know what I equate it to, Mike? I equate it to losing a girlfriend. Right. You know it ain't working out. Right. You love each other. You've got all this time together. You've taken each other to places, but time, you know, runs its course. Things change. Life changes. People change. Just like the MWF changed. And you know you got to get out. But you don't want to see her with another guy. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know, I dig that. That's really what I equated it to, man. It's like, yeah, man, we're not working. Right. It's time to go. Yeah. You know it. I know it. Yeah. But please don't be with anybody else. Right. And it felt like Jeff was the guy who came in and started dating my woman, man. Yeah. I mean, it really felt like that. Right. Because I put so much into I mean, you know that, man. We all did. I mean, we lived it. Yeah. I mean, it wasn't just something we did on the weekends.
I don't think I felt so much that way because
really
I didn't rub my penis on it. So
well, I did, man. Every chance. But it did feel like that, man. Because I you know, when I was doing the MWF, Mike, you know, man, I didn't have a whole lot else going on. Let's put it like that. Right. And so, dude, when I jumped in on that shit, man, I mean, I went balls deep with it. Yeah. I really did. It was an everyday thing for me. I did something MWF related every day. Yeah. And like I said, man, when I first got out, there was a group of us who left. Yeah. And I think we all had a similar feeling. Maybe I felt a little stronger than others. Maybe some felt as strong as I did. In fact, I know some did. You know? And I think there was a common theme amongst some of us bitter jackasses that the MWF should just go away. Right. We started that shit. Yeah. Who are you to keep it going? Right. That's how we felt at that time. And, you know, man, as time went on, to say that has flip-flopped would be a major understatement. Because now, man, I couldn't see. I know I've said it 100 times. I'll say it 100 more. I couldn't see this town without them.
Well, exactly.
You know.
I know. I look at the shows now, and look at that production value, and I couldn't even imagine that.
No.
As far as what we were doing back then, and looking at it now, it's like, oh my God, it's just wow.
Some shit on TV, man.
It's TV quality. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Because back then, we were just, we were putting on shows,
right?
And
in a warehouse,
in a huge warehouse, which
holes
I love
in the
that.
wall.
Loved that building.
Loved it, man.
Absolutely loved that building, and we were using VHS camcorders.
Oh God, old ones too. I mean, shit out of Goodwill,
dude,
bro.
Yeah.
It was rough, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like I said, we had holes in the wall. Literally. Literally.
Well, who was your favorite person to work with from that era?
From, I guess, the beginning era. I mean, like in that. You and Dogs. I mean, as far as the Committee of Pain goes, our group, man.
Working
against someone. Oh, well, in the beginning, it was probably Scott St. James, without a doubt. And I look back on that too, Mike. Do you remember before the first show we were talking, and you were booking, man? You had the book, and you were like, "Man, I don't know if we should put the belt on Dan or if we should put it on Scott."
Yeah.
Do you remember? And I was like, "Let's put it on Scott, dude."
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
We would always still.
Yeah.
I know technically I wasn't booking, but we still would bounce.
Yeah.
And you ended up going with that.
Yeah.
And I still think that was the best call.
Yeah.
By far.
Yeah.
Because one thing about Scooter, and we call him Scooter, that's his nickname. So if you hear me say Scooter, we're talking about Scott St. James here. Nobody worked as hard as him. We all may have worked equally as hard, but nobody worked harder than Scott St.
And he could project. He could put himself out there,
dude. And he was a smaller guy.
Yeah.
I mean, he was kind of I hate to say he's a little guy, but he he would be definitely considered a cruiserweight.
Yeah,
let's put it like that for sure. But he also had that acrobatic type style.
So he had small baby faces.
In general, man. I would say really the whole roster was fairly small. I mean,
no, I wouldn't say that.
In comparison to other wrestling organizations.
I don't know, because at that time we had, of course, Dogs.
Two Dogs, big guy.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Eisenberg,
big guy. Yeah, absolutely. Who's still working today with him. Yeah. Stowe would come in a little later.
Yeah, Stowe was later. He was a bigger guy.
But he was still in that era.
Yeah. You're talking about the era or the very beginning point at that?
Man, I really don't even know where it ends.
Because I know we had a bigger guy. His name was Michael. He was like one show.
But he was on that one.
In that one show, he was a bigger guy.
He was huge, man.
Yeah, he was a good-sized guy.
But he was a one and done. So I can't even really count him. I forgot his name until you brought it up.
Yeah. Gotch. Gotch was a bigger guy.
Well, he was
bigger than me.
Yeah, but I mean, I wouldn't consider Gotch a big guy, man. Not really. Me and him were about the same size.
No.
You don't think so?
No. He was definitely taller.
He was taller,
He was taller than me.
Yeah, but he wasn't built too much. I mean, he was an average guy. I think he was an average size guy.
I think he was a little more, maybe. A little more than average. I consider myself an average size guy.
I would say as far as wrestlers go,
right,
he was definitely like what we would see in these other shows.
I thought he was about the same size as Heisenberg.
Yeah, I'll give you that. Yeah. Once again, not huge.
Or
not
Mikado.
Yeah. Once again, not super huge, but definitely not, lightweights.
Yeah.
Not lightweights, man. Any chance. Well, Jigga, I mean, he was a fairly big guy. That guy. Everybody's favorite. Booney. Old Dirty.
Boone
is a bigger guy. Love Boone, man. I don't know Boone listens
Boone was... he was so frustrating.
He could he could get on your nerves, but man,
so frustrating.
I don't know Adam Boone,
but he was so funny.
He dude. So funny. If there's anybody from that day that I really truly miss, it is Adam Boone.
What about Vanderhook?
I love Vanderhook, man. Ice on the. I love that guy, man. He was a trip, man.
He looked like Dave Gahan from Depeche Mode.
Yeah, he did, didn't he, man?
He did.
But I loved Vanderhook, man.
Yeah.
Brad,
yeah.
Good guitarist too, man. I mean,
really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, he was a hell of a musician, dude. He actually ended up going to Nashville for a little while.
Get out.
Yeah. No, I heard him play one night.
Wow.
Phenomenal. It's something else. It seems a lot of us guys in that very beginning were also musicians. You were a drummer. I'm a bass player.
Mm-hmm.
Brad, he was a guitarist. Eisenberg plays.
Yeah.
Scooter plays.
Yeah. Didn't Chris?
Yeah. Eisenberg.
No, Stowe.
No, drums. Yes, he did.
Sure did.
Two Dogs played a mean cowbell.
Huh?
I mean, oh, he played the fuck out of that cowbell, man. God damn. He like Jimi Hendrix playing a guitar with that shit, man. But I always thought that was kind of crazy. And even some of the guys that came in later were musicians.
Yeah.
Dan, Robbie.
True. Yeah.
Damn, dude. You know, when you start really looking back.
It's a connection.
Even Gotch did some vocals back in the day. He was in the band scene.
Yeah.
You know, short-lived, but he was in it. You know, we were all in that music scene. That's a trip, man, when you really start kind of breaking it down, man. Justin, he played the keyboard. Yeah. You know, he came over and rocked it out. And I was like, Jesus, man. It's a trip when you start thinking about that, you know.
But putting that title on David Hayes was, without a doubt, that was the best decision ever, man. That was the guy that held it and was gonna hold it.
You know, man, you had to put it on a babyface the first night. You got to. You got to leave him happy, man. You know, and Scooter played that underdog role. So, and you could, man, goddamn, I know Scooter, man, has had issues with some people here and there. I think you guys maybe had some issues here and there. I personally have never had an issue with Scooter. He got on my nerves a couple of times. I'm sure I got on his as well. You know, but I actually met up with Scooter about a year ago, and first time I'd seen him in person in years, and man, I cannot tell you how awesome it was to see and hang out. But I'm saying all that just to say, regardless how you feel about him, regardless of what happened in the past, this and that motherfucker would give you his body. He would say, do whatever you want, man. Throw me around. I mean, he was such a smaller guy, such an underdog. But he was fearless. Yeah. He was fucking fearless with it, man. He was like, you can fucking throw me across the goddamn room, and he's going to get up and he's going to come right back, man. And with him and Dodd, so when you have pretty much the smallest guy with the belt going up against probably the biggest guy who was the heel, and you know we're in this corner as well, bro. Yeah, that was some good shit, man. That was some good psychology. Yeah, because they worked so well, man. Because Scooter was working that small guy, Dodd could never catch him. You know what I'm saying? He kept eluding him. He'd drop kick him, run. Yeah. Dogs is frustrated. He, because he knows if he can get his hands on him, he can break him in half. But he can't get his hands on him. Yeah. And that shit, dude. But when he took that belt, it was on. Yeah. Another funny story. I know you remember my friend Ray Jeffries. Yeah. Big Ray. Yeah. Big Ray. You know, Ray passed away several years ago, unfortunately. Man, we actually lost touch, and I didn't get to see him before he passed. Now, to this day, I'll always regret that, man, because he was a good guy. He's a good friend, and he was supportive of us. Big Ray, he was a little older than us, man. I think he was probably in his 40s while we were in our 20s. He's probably about our age now. Yeah. Me and Ray worked together. Wrestling fan, man. He's the biggest Stone Cold Steve Austin mark you'll ever meet in your life. That's how we became friends, man. He would wear a Stone Cold shirt every day to work, and I'd start talking shit about The Rock, and you know, man, a great friendship formed. Yeah. Well, Ray, before he got sick, he would come to our shows, and he was one of our loudest, most biggest supporters, you know. And he would come out there, and he'd give the heels a bunch of shit. You know, he'd cheer the baby faces. You know, he was damn near the perfect wrestling fan. Yeah. And he knew it was a work. He knew it was a work, Mike. You know, and I've got a point with all this. But we had run an angle where we had, because I talked to him all the time, man. I mean, I was the bad guy, and we were friends. He knew it was fake. You know, he knew it. Or predetermined, you know.
Right,
But we were running this angle. We broke Scott's arm. Do you remember this angle?
Oh, absolutely.
So we run his arm into the shit, into the side or whatever. We beat it down. You know, your girlfriend at the time, who was in the show as well, who was like the main commissioner or whatever. Yeah. She takes him, puts him in her car, and they speed off. Right. Do you remember when they just speed off? Yeah. And we caught that on camera because we had that little side door. So you can see them go out, and they leave, man. And you can see it on camera, the car speeding away. It pans over to my buddy Ray, and Ray's like, oh, shit, man, y'all think that was real? And it shut off. I'm like, God damn it, man. God damn it, there it is. There you go. He did, man. He's like, holy shit, y'all think that was real? All right. Yeah. Little did they know they were speeding off to the party. Yeah, they want to get to there first. Exactly. That's why whenever somebody got hurt, man, it was kind of cool because you got to be the first one to get to the party and start drinking.
Let me flip that on you and go back to the Meccano and Billy Gotch match.
Oh, the injury that wasn't a work.
Right, and that happened in the same way.
Jesus, man.
That happened. That one happened before the Scott.
Yes. Yeah. That was our third show.
Yeah. And
man, this is bad memories right here, bro.
Yeah, because he came off that top onto the outside and wound up breaking his leg.
Yeah, his ankle. He snapped his ankle.
Yeah. And he actually had to get carted out in a car the same fashion. And, backing up, putting him in there, and straight to the hospital.
Right. Here's the thing about that. I was his manager. I was on, and he was Mikado, a Japanese character.
Yeah.
He can't speak English.
All right.
God bless Chris Eisenberg, brother. And we got to get you on the show, man. We got to make sure your calendar's working, motherfucker.
Yeah.
But we got to get you on here for sure. But, man, God bless him.
I'll have you in here the year of the rat.
I don't know when that is. Oh, the year of the rat, ring rat. Did you mean that? Did you mean that?
There you go.
But, dude, like I said, he stays in character because, well, let's also put out there that Billy Gotch, his opponent in this match where he breaks his ankle, what was Billy Gotch's finishing move? His signature.
It was a leg lock.
The ankle lock.
The ankle lock.
It was a fucking ankle lock.
Was it ankle lock?
Yes. Yeah. And he put
I would say it wasn't quite an ankle lock. It was almost like
it was the angle. It was the same thing Kurt Angle did.
No, I think because I want to say it was a half.
No, man.
It was a half crab.
No, man. He turned that motherfucker. I was out there. I heard it. I heard that son of a bitch snap, man.
I want to say because I want to go back on that video.
It's up on YouTube.
It's a half crab.
I don't know. Nah, man. Now my memory may be fucking with me.
Right.
I'll admit that, but dude, I was out there. He'd already broke it. He got back in the ring to finish the fucking match. And I'm like, "Are you all right?" He goes, "Aye." And I'm like, "Okay, he's in character, so he must be okay." I mean, that's really what I'm thinking.
What does that mean?
Yeah, I don't know. I can't speak fucking Japanese. But man, I'm like, "Hey, man, you cool? You cool?" Aye. I'm like, "Oh, okay, I guess he's okay." Dude, Billy put him in that fucking ankle lock, bro. I heard it snap, man. I heard it. Oh, God, to this day. My memory may be fucked up, man.
I was at the announce table for that one.
Oh, yeah. Dude, man.
I think I was over there with Chris and, what's his name?
McSwerve?
Yeah.
Matthew McSwerve?
Yeah.
Dude, I just know when that motherfucker turned his ankle, I heard it.
Yeah.
And I heard that man make a noise like I ain't never heard nobody make before. And I was like, because we had that dude, Pee Wee. Pee Wee was the fucking referee. He only refereed like 2 shows for us. Do you remember him?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was out there, and he looked at me, and I was like, ring the fucking bell, man. Because he didn't know what to do. None of us knew what to do.
Right.
But he looked at me, his eyes were big, like, what? And I'm like, dude, just fucking ring the bell, ring the fucking bell. And so we got him out and everything. But, brother, like I said, when I heard that shit snap and crackle, I mean, and then that man screamed. I mean, Jesus Christ, man. It was rough, man. That was a rough one, dude.
Yeah.
That was a rough one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, oh man.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about that one anymore.
But yeah, it happened in the same fashion. Loaded up straight to the hospital.
Yeah. That one was a shoot. Yeah.
So, gosh, I'm going down that title history.
Dude, so many of these shows run together for me.
They do.
I tell you, man.
Look to there.
It's a trip, man. And I got to get up with you, Mike. And I really need to reach out to all the old school MWFs, man. I've got a good amount of these shows on my hard drive.
Yeah.
I'd say about 10 years. Oh, Jesus Christ, man. It's been 10 years at this point. About 10 years ago, Two Dogs hits me up. He says, man, I've got like 3 totes full of tapes. And I bought a VCR, and I guess I ought to get that VCR/DVD player back to him. I've only had it for 10 years. He says something to me every once in a while about it. He'll bring it up every once in a while.
Yeah.
Come get it, brother. Whenever you want it, man, it's yours. Come get it. I don't know, man. You think after possessing something for 10 years, that's kind of mine now? I mean, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But, dude, I just lost my job in Charlotte, so I was unemployed. And he brought me 3 totes and this machine, and he was like, dude, can you do this? And I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
And so I started converting. And like I said, I got about 100 gigs of this shit.
Yeah.
Most of them are the stationary cameras, but there are a few fan cams in there, a few fan shots, and those are the shit.
Yeah.
But man, there was stuff going on that I completely fucking forgot about. I mean, I'm watching matches. I'm like, I had no idea I did this.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, dude, it just trips me out. I'm like, it all runs together. There's really only a handful of matches that stick out to me.
Yeah.
After all these years.
Wow. Now, bring up the time you almost lost your pants.
Oh shit! Boy, I'm glad I double bagged it that day, bro.
Tell us about that.
Oh man, okay. First of all, I was a wrestling manager. I think I put that out there.
Mm-hmm.
Second of all, I've never been a mark about it. In other words, dude, you can shave my head, you can pull my pants down, you can make me tap out to a wedgie.
Yeah.
The crazier and the sillier the shit was, the more I liked it.
Yeah.
Man. Not trying to put myself over. I'm just saying that was how I was always. I know a lot of people want to do these things. So I'll be like, fuck yeah. So we had this angle where I was working with Kara Hayes, David Hayes' wife.
Yeah.
We run this angle. She was the I guess, good manager. But she was a woman as well, so she, so she all kind of had that automatic baby face going because she was managing 7 and the good guys.
Yeah.
So obviously, I'm trying to pull the old Jim Cornette and baby doll routine. I'll smack a woman, just trying to be a dick, and obviously let her get over on me.
Yeah.
It was always the way it worked. Well, we come up with this angle where at the end of the match, she was going to strip me down or strip me down to my underwear.
Yeah.
So, man, I had this old pair of boxer shorts. It had hearts all over them, man. And I never wore them. I mean, that's just not my thing. But an ex-girlfriend actually gave them to me, and I've been holding on to them. Like, I've never worn these.
Right.
And I think even you were like, hey, man, break them out or something. Yeah. So we came up with this angle. And, dude, so I put them on, and they felt weird. I mean, they were silk, and I'm like, they're riding up, man, and making everything too tight. So I was like, I'm going to put on my regular boxers underneath them, man. I can't. It's just too uncomfortable for me. Thank God I did. Because at the end of the show, man, I'm getting my, weekly dose of humiliation here. Kara, man, just jerks down my pants along with that pair of underwear, with the gimmick underwear, as I call it. So I just went down to my regular boxer shorts. And it was cold in that building, bro. Basically, bottom line, if I didn't have on that second pair of shorts, not only were the people going to get more than what they wanted to see, but they weren't going to get enough of what I wanted them to see.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that should have been on camera, man. And, dude, who knows? We may have gotten shut down because it was going to be full cock and balls, man.
And then ding flopping out the family shows.
Well, brother, it wouldn't have been flopping that night. It was cold as shit, which would have been even worse.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
They could have put the kibosh on the line.
Yeah, dude. We may be having a completely different conversation right now. But, man, I think one of my favorite angles I ever run with Kara was when I tapped out to the wedgie.
Oh, the wedgie.
That was obviously that was your idea, because I remember when you were running it by me, he was like, yeah, man, she's going to turn you over, and she's going to give you the wedgie. And I think I even completed your sentence. I was like, and I tap out.
Yeah.
You're like, yes. I'm like, fuck yeah, man.
Yeah.
Let's do this, Just little shit like that, man.
Yeah. That was so much fun.
Oh.
Yeah. The crowd was into it. They loved it. I don't think they'd ever seen anything like that before. That.
And it was so fun, man, because I talked so much shit. You know, you can't get me. I'm going to beat you, woman. Like I said, doing that whole, the baby doll Jim Cornette angle. Just basically verbatim.
Yeah.
And when she got over on me with a wedgie.
Oh, yeah.
Dude.
Oh, yeah.
But, Mike, I think it's a testament not only to myself as a manager, but us as a team, that where we kept our fucking heat.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that would just make it 10 times, because I'd come out, that didn't happen.
Right.
I didn't do that. And just that kind of stuff. But, Mike, let me ask you. There was a situation of that angle and that little era that I remember very well. And, I got to be cool how we put some of this stuff.
Okay.
But we had a friend of ours who worked for a group home of disabled people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Do you know kind of where I'm going with this?
Yeah,
okay.
Exactly.
And these were mentally disabled, people, sweet kids, man.
Yes.
Probably a wrestling show is not the best for people in this condition.
Right.
Just saying.
Right.
Because there was one that would come, and he was a bigger. He was a young guy. He was a young guy. Like I said, once again, he was disabled, mentally disabled, and he loved Kara.
Yes.
He loved Kara.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was just infatuated with her. Well, we ran an angle. Once again, just kind of keeping this, this feud hot, to where if I'm trying to remember what the stipulation was, but it seems like if you lost, that Kara got 5 minutes in the ring along with me.
Right.
So you lose.
I remember that.
So you lose the match.
Yeah.
It comes down to me and Kara. Well, man, we're stinking up the joint. We're trying to make it, which obviously, what would you expect? But we're stinking up the place. But we're getting over. It's getting a good reaction.
Yeah.
Well, the referee goes down. This was such a great, man, your booking on this was fucking phenomenal, Mike. It's one of my favorite angles that has ever been booked. But the referee goes down. She gets me in her finisher. I'm down. I'm out. She's pinning me. Nobody's coming. You dropped a leg on her. You dropped a leg on her and rolled me over.
Did the leg drop from the top rope?
Top rope.
Boom.
Yeah, and hit her hard.
That was
a hot fucking spot, man.
Yeah.
And then you rolled me over. And, the referee came to 1, 2, 3, I win. I just remember somebody, I think it was one of our security people. It might have been Will. I can't remember. Somebody grabbed me and said, come on.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm still playing. I'm still selling it, you know. apparently that disabled guy was coming into the ring.
Yeah.
And they had to pull him out. And I didn't know what was going on. I got my eyes closed. I'm out. Quote unquote, I'm out.
Yeah.
And somebody's like, come on now, come on. And I'm like, what the fuck, and hurry up. We just got the fuck out of Dodge. And come to find out, that's what it was. And needless to say, unfortunately, they couldn't come back. That was the last time this group, unfortunately, got to come back. It was probably not the best situation.
Right.
For people once again in that condition to be because they think it's absolutely 100% real.
Absolutely.
And they just saw this poor guy just saw a woman that he's actually honest to God in love with.
Yeah.
Just get fucking leg dropped.
Yeah.
And then lose the match. And he was coming after us, bro. And he was, that could have went south, but that was one of those moments of wrestling that I look back on. And just like, holy shit, man, that was crazy. I'm not saying it was good, it was bad. I'm just saying it was crazy.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things that stick out.
The one we would pull out with, I don't know how many times we did this. It was always funny. To me, it was always just a funny spot. It could be dumb as shit, but I always thought it was hilarious. Was the CPR spots.
Oh, yeah, man. And I was always the poor soul getting the CPR. It was always me.
Always him getting the CPR from the big bump from the baby face.
I forgot
Something
about
would happen and he'd just be laying
out.
Just out. Oh my God, he's not waking up. We better give him CPR. You do it. No,
you do it.
You do it. You do it.
And then you would do the rock paper scissors thing and try to figure out who's going to do the mouth to mouth.
Yep. Sure did.
Dude, I forgot about that.
Somebody'd have to pump the chest and breathe and
and do that. Yeah. Who's going to do mouth to mouth? You do it. No, you do it.
No, you do it. Damn it.
Rock, paper, scissors. Oh, God damn it. I got to do it.
I always thought those were
Then I would always wake up and get on the microphone. I'm okay, everyone. I'm okay. And people were like, fuck you. We don't want you to be okay.
Yeah.
Dude, those were, God damn, man. That was just so much fun.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. And I know, man, I'm not just trying to put myself over as a manager, dude, but I do want to tell one story. This was later on, man. This was kind of toward the end because we were working in Gastonia. And David Hayes' son, Tyler, was still a kid, man. I think he was maybe 11 or 12 at this time. Mm-hmm. Maybe not even that old. He was probably maybe younger than that.
Right.
Because, Tyler is just about to become a father. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, damn, time goes by pretty quick. But Two Dogs calls me up that morning. And he was like, hey, I got a favor to ask. And I'm like, yeah, what's up, man? And he was like, I want to put Tyler in the show tonight. I'm like, okay. And I forget, I think Jeff was just booking. I know I wasn't booking. And I'm like, okay. And he was like, well, dude, I want to, because we were feuding. Me and Dogs had a feud going on. I think he was going against Will or somebody. I can't remember. But he was like, I want to bring Tyler out, but I want to dress him up like you. And I'm like, man, I'm cool with that. Kind of make fun of you. And I'm like, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And he was like, cool, man. And I'm like, dude, why don't you just let him get over on me? He was like, I was going to ask you about that.
Right.
I'm like, well, what was you thinking? He was like, man, maybe he just comes in and punches you or something. I'm like, fuck that, man. Tell him to put me in the stunner and pin me.
Yeah.
And he was like, you'd be cool with that? I'm like, bro. I've already jobbed out to half your fucking family anyway.
Yeah.
Why not?
Right.
I mean, your wife just put me in a wedgie a year ago. I mean, hell yeah, man. And, dude, it was just so cool because you could hear in Dog's voice, it's like, man, thank you. Thank you for doing that. And I'm like, dude, no, I think it'll get over. And, Mike, it was during this period where some of the crowd had dropped. It was, man. It was kind of during that downswing.
Right.
And we didn't have quite as many people there as we wanted. But you can even ask Two Dogs about this. Because when he hit that stunner on me, that place popped hard. And I think, man, it may have been the last time I really heard a pop like that.
Yeah.
And it's just cool to me, man, because I got to do that with Tyler.
Yeah.
And I just think it's funny looking back at Dawes, because, he was even kind of, and, Dawes is not kind of one of these people who beats around the bush at all. Jesus, that's why we're such good friends, man, because he'll tell you straight up, about how shit is. But you can tell he's kind of beating around the bush a little bit about it. It's like, hey, man, I was going to dress him up like you. Is that cool, man? You cool with that? And I'm like, fuck yeah, blah, blah, blah. And like I said, man, that's just something I look back on. And one regret I have is I never got to see it on tape. Nobody ever recorded it. Or if they did, I never got to see it. Because that's one thing that I really wish I could have saw was him do it in the crowd. And, because, when you're living it, man, you can't see it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But that was always one of my, of all the spots I've ever done with anybody, putting people over, doing whatever, man, that was probably maybe my favorite.
Yeah.
By far, man. Yeah. What was yours, man? What was your favorite, I'd say, spot or, just Just whatever, man.
Wow, that's tough.
That's a hell of a question, isn't it?
That's tough. Stop it. What the hell? Gosh, I'd have to say probably, to me, one of my favorites was probably me and Scott against Dan and Dustin in that ladder match.
Like I said, man, very few matches really stick out.
Yeah.
That one absolutely was my favorite match.
Yeah.
I was actually going to say that before the end of the show. That is my favorite match of MWF history, man.
Yeah.
You guys, and I got to be there, man. And once again, being the manager, I got the best seat in the fucking house, man. I mean, there were times where I was no longer a manager. I was watching as a spectator.
Yeah.
Because you guys left it all in the ring, man. All four of you guys. Jesus Christ, man. I mean, dude, I haven't seen shit on WWE that was as good as that fucking match, man.
That was a lot of fun. It was so good.
I mean, you guys busted so much ass, man. I remember y'all rehearsing the match, going over shit the weeks up to that show.
Yeah, because, I mean, we had a lot of different spots in that whole thing. I think that was the thing, too. I loved working with Dustin, but with Dan, we could go a little harder.
You did.
Me and him could really just put it out there and just go really hard. One of my other favorites, and I was a part of it, I wasn't wrestling in the match, but I was reffing the match as a heel ref, was the one with David Hayes and Dustin, where we did the Dusty finish.
I think I do remember that.
Had put the title on Dustin just to take it away,
and then flipped it. I do remember that. That place went fucking ape shit, man.
It was incredible.
That place went fucking ape shit.
Because I was screwing Dustin the entire thing, and something happened, and Dustin had went for a spear on Dogs.
Yeah.
And Dogs leapfrogged him.
And hit you.
It hit me.
Yep.
Just like straight through.
Yep.
It worked out beautifully.
Yep.
And I was out.
I remember that.
And then the other referee comes in. And
was it Little
Dustin
Tim,
wins the
maybe?
title. It may have been.
It may have been, yeah. Or Justin. It may have been Justin.
It could have been one or the other.
One or the other, yeah.
Probably Justin.
Probably at that time.
More likely Justin.
At that point, yeah.
But God, everything just went seamlessly. And it was beautiful. And the place just fucking went nuts.
Because Dustin was so over, man. I don't know if we could put over how over Dustin was.
Yeah. And then I get back up and Dustin hit a referee. Me. Yeah. He hit a referee. Disqualification. Boom. Had to take it away.
Flip that belt.
The place just fucking, oh God.
The thing about Dustin is, I know me and you both did this, Mike. We had people in the crowd. We had friends that would come and watch, and we would talk to these people.
Yeah.
Shroncy, dude, I always talk about Shroncy being the DJ and the ring announcer. But something else that I would always have Shroncy do is go talk to people, man.
Right.
See what they like.
Yeah.
See what they don't like.
Yeah.
Get real responses. And I had another friend of ours, Katie, would come to the shows.
Yeah.
So I pulled her to the side of the party. I said, hey, what are you thinking about these shows? She was like, well, bro, I'll never forget it. She was like, well, I'll tell you who the most popular one is Dustin.
Yeah.
I'm like, for real? She was like, all the dudes love him and the chicks are loving him.
Yeah.
And I was like, no shit.
Yeah.
And then, we said that on this show a million other times, brother. Yeah. That is paramount.
Yeah.
If you got the guys who like you, and think you're the shit, and the girls are fucking, hot for you, bro, I mean, you can't get any better than that. And Dustin had that shit, man. If there's, like I said, man, looking back in hindsight all these years later, we should have pushed Dustin more. But at the same time, some of those issues that people had with Dustin about the cockiness and stuff like that didn't come out of nowhere, bro.
Right.
It didn't.
I think to me, it got just that right amount of push that needed to be there.
Right.
Like I said, you give him that shot, and he almost has it, but you take it away.
Chasing it, man.
Chasing it. Yeah. You don't have to blow the load all at one time.
Right, that's true too. But
it's a super build up.
But here's the thing about blowing your load too, because I remember me and Stowe would have these conversations, and I had a great comeback for that. Yeah, but motherfucker, if you don't blow your load, you might lose your heart on.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying, man? Yeah. So, but I hear you, man.
That's true too.
I think later on, at the time, absolutely.
Yeah.
And, dude, that spot, I forgot about that spot, dude.
Yeah.
But let me tell you about one of my favorite spots.
But it's a gauge. It's a gauge to see Can this go?
Yeah.
Can this go? I know we did it with another person where we gauged it and it got over, but once we switched that title.
Who was it, man?
That was with Sam Finnegan.
Oh.
To where, you know, we had that screw over, we had that kibosh, we had that dusty finish,
right?
Where they thought it got over, and the people that were there were into it. They went nuts for it. And once we switched it, it didn't happen. It didn't go.
The win.
There was no. Yeah, and that was only a few shows down the line.
It was fairly recent. Now, one thing I'll say about Sam, man, once again, not maybe a fan of the guy personally at this time. Whatever, man. You know, I don't have nothing against him. I just, you know, we don't speak. I don't see him. He was over.
Yeah,
man, he was over. That gimmick he had was one of the hottest gimmicks ever in all MWF history. I don't think his skill level was there at that time.
Right.
I think he had potential to have that skill level there. But, you know, man, I think it was – I'm with you, dude. I think it was good to give it a shot because he was over.
Right.
And I think that gimmick was good enough to get to be a flag bearer. I just think the performer at that time I don't think his head was in it, and I don't think his body was in it at that time. Yeah. I do think he could have potentially had that down the line, but unfortunately it never happened.
Right.
You know, things go the way they go. But, yeah, I remember that. But, you know – once again, man, you got to gauge it. You do got to try it, you know.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you one of the best angles that I remember that I had the most fun with. It was a match between you and Seven. It was a grudge match.
Uh-huh.
And it was a last man standing match.
Yeah.
And Smiley Stewart was down to referee this match. I remember Smiley was there.
Right.
Basically, we had this angle to where, you know, the last man standing wins. You know, you had to not answer the 10 count. You know, there was a 10 count. You and Dan hit each other, you know. Phenomenal match. Let me just say that. I remember that match. And I don't remember a lot of shit from back then, but I remember that match. Phenomenal, hard-hitting, crazy-ass match. You guys hit each other, you both go down.
Right.
Smiley counts to 10. 1, 2, 3, 8, 9, 10. I remember my buddy Ray, once again, he was at that show, so, hey, I guess the ref won.
Yeah.
That's why I remember it was Smiley because I laughed my ass off when I heard that.
Yeah.
Smiley gets on the mic. The first man to his feet wins the match.
Yeah.
And, you know, 7. Everybody's cheering for 7, you know. You know, the referee's going back and forth between the two of you. You know, you're grabbing the ref. You're trying to use the ref to climb up. And so as you're doing this and the ref has his back, 7 stands up. The crowd goes crazy. I come up behind him with my pud whacker. I hit him in the leg.
Boom.
He goes down. You come up. You won the match. That place was hot.
Yeah.
I remember the heat. Yeah. Fuck you, man. No, he hit him. I mean, you know, I remember that.
Asshole.
Yes, man. And I'll remember that angle and that spot to this day. But I'm going to tell you another feud that I remember that I thought was maybe my favorite feud of all time. And that was David Hayes, the bounty hunter, against the outlaw, Keith Matthews.
Sure. Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. And
you know what it all started over? Their gimmicks were they were both from Texas. One was from Corpus Christi, and the other was from Galveston.
Yeah.
I remember that too. Dogs was from Galveston.
Yeah.
The whole feud started because Two Dogs walks into the ring and flips Outlaw's cowboy hat off. And one of the hottest, meanest, bloodiest fucking feuds in the MWF history began simply because you flipped off his cowboy hat.
Right.
And it was on, man, and it was hot. And it was badass, man. Yeah. And they would work some of the best fucking matches, dude.
Yeah.
Now, man, you know, I know we talked about Jeff as a booker a lot in this show. We talked, well, maybe not a whole lot, but we've talked about him as a booker. We ought to talk about Outlaw Keith Matthews, the performer.
Yeah.
Who was better, man?
I know.
I mean, really. Who was better? Who was fucking better? Dude.
I know. I've been chopped a lot. I've never been chopped to where I thought my heart was going to stop.
Till Outlaw. Dude, who?
I would get chopped and I would just have to stand there in a corner hoping that my body wasn't going to shut down.
Just kind of absorb it, man, and just, just wait for it and hope for the best.
Yeah.
You know?
And he could just...
his bumps.
Oh, Jesus, he could bump just from anywhere.
Bumps were... I remember the first time... Mike, do you remember the first time he came to train and me and you talked about him? The very first fucking... Do you remember our conversation?
Yeah.
Because he bumped. I saw him bump, and I'm like, hey, man, there's our next star.
There you go.
I just knew it.
Yeah.
That first bump I saw him.
You
just know it.
You know it. You know it.
There's no science to it. You can't write it down. You can't read about it.
Yeah.
You either know it or you don't. I saw him bump one time. I said, well, there he is.
There he is,
man. Now we just got to get him ready.
Yeah.
We just got to get him to that point now, but he's here, and now we just got to get... Brother, to be a babyface and to hold the belt, and it's still... In other words, you don't have a babyface chasing a title, and it still get over and still get numbers and still get people to come in, that's special, man.
Yeah.
And only Outlaw was able to do that. No other babyface could have carried it, dude. And that's not a shot against any of the other babyfaces, man. That's just saying how good. Yeah. And you know why Outlaw was such a great babyface and why he was able to do it? Because that's him legitimately. He is a fucking babyface, man. When he goes out there and tells the people, hey, I'm here for you, he means it, man. Yeah. He means it. Yeah. I mean, you can't work that. That's either a shoot or it's not, man. And that's why... yeah, dude. Like I said, man. I'm such a huge mark for Outlaw Keith Matthews. I mean, he come out to that Waylon Jennings music. I know we changed the music up a little bit here and there, and it changed to Skinner.
Right.
But man, when he was coming out to the Eagle, that cowboy hat, that duster.
Yeah.
He was fucking better, man. Yeah. I mean,
exactly.
You couldn't help. But sometimes I look back and I wonder, what if Outlaw was chasing the belt more? I do wonder about that because the fans were so behind him. But at the same time, you could put that belt on him. And still, it was almost like a Hulk Hogan type situation. Yeah. It really felt like that to me, man. Yeah. And that's a big deal.
What was that? Let me ask you this, because we're getting close here. What was a dream match that you had thought about that you had not seen with anybody there?
I can answer that 100% right off the bat without even thinking about it. Mikado and Wendigo.
Wow, I had never even thought about that.
100%, man. I've thought about that a lot. I wish that match could have happened. Yeah, absolutely. Well, like I said, I don't even have to. Other than that, my second would be Black Destiny versus Stowe and Hojo.
I always thought about that one.
Yeah, because that would never happen, man. But those are my top two. Right. I don't know really. I guess I'd have to put the heavy hitters up there. With Mikado and Wendigo, because I think they would have absolutely killed each other. Yeah, and I think that would have been something tremendous, especially if Eisenberg could have, stuck around after the injury and turned babyface with us. I think those two, man, could have fucking burned the house down. But that tag match,
I think, to me, a few that I think about, I've always thought about that Black Destiny and with Dustin and Seven against Stowe and Hojo.
Oh yeah, absolutely
huge. I think. Me personally, and just put myself out there, me and Dean Sawyer, perfect team.
Yep.
Against Black Destiny.
I think that would have been good, man.
I think that would have been, to me, it would have been really good for me.
Yeah.
That I would have loved to have seen that happen. I also would have liked to have seen Keith Matthews, Mr. Bad against Christo and Hojo.
That would have been a good show, man. That would have been a good match.
Yeah.
I haven't even thought about Mr.
Like
Bad.
Four heavy hitters, man, that just go.
And I was going to say, man, especially with you and Dean against Black Destiny, man, y'all's styles were so similar.
Quick.
It would have been so fast and similar. Whereas with Stowe and Hojo and, let's say, Black Destiny, it would have been two different styles.
Right, yeah.
But I think they could have really, I think they could have, because to me, as far as tag team wrestling goes, as far as MWF goes, from our eras, those are always, which was better?
Yeah.
I kind of lean with Stowe and Hojo, man, and the reason I do is because I think they had more time together. You know what I'm saying? And I think, then again, man, I don't know. I was about to say, and I think they may have drew a little bit more, but then again, Black Destiny drew. I mean, that's, once again, they did. Yeah. They drew big time, actually.
Those babies, man.
That's hard, man. Yeah. That's hard.
It's hard to get those babies like that.
It really is. It truly is.
It's so hard to get those babies like that.
Yeah. For me, looking which one I think was better, I do go with the Hojo Stowe just because of the time.
Because you look at Jeff and Mr. Bad. Right. They're babies, but, they're
big guys.
Big guys. Yeah. Those tough guys like Doc and... So like
Doc and Gordy?
Yeah, well, kind of like Doc and Gordy. I would say more Doc and Gordy comparison with Hojo and
Stowe. Yeah.
But like Doug and Doc.
I could see that
for that
Bad
Jeff and Bad.
Right.
Yeah.
I can see that, man. Yeah. That's a good analogy there.
Yeah.
It really is.
But God, it would have been so heavy hitting.
Yes.
And like I said with Wendigo, I didn't even think about that because He was a heavy hitter too.
Yeah, and so was Eisenberg.
Yeah,
still is.
That would have been a good time.
Because like I said, man, I could really see if Eisenberg was still around for the Committee of Pain and our baby turn with Kane Enterprises. True. Those two would have matched up perfectly, and I think they could have burnt down the place, man. I really do. Because, Wendigo, I was kind of off and on with Wendigo over the years. I think he's a good guy and everything, he's had some stuff here and there maybe over the years, years and years ago. But, I always liked his style, and I think him and Eisenberg had similar styles, and I think that could have been some good shit, man.
Yeah, I believe so. I really do.
Well, Mike, brother, about ready to get off memory lane here.
I know, right? Take the exit off memory lane.
Yeah, dude. Like I said, this was a fun show, and I enjoyed talking. Yeah. I mean, we went completely off script with this thing, and hell, man, I think sometimes it's good to go off script.
That's it, man.
Sometimes you just got to go with what you're going with, and
Next time we'll talk about Turbo and Pawn Shop.
That's for another show, brother. Yeah. But we will get there. We will get there. Well, Mike, brother, is anything you want to end us with?
No, I think that's good. We didn't plan on doing this, but it just kind of happened.
And I like I said, dude, I don't know if the people out there are going to like the show as much. I don't know if a lot of y'all are still listening at this point.
Exactly.
But, bro, as far as I'm concerned,
if you got any questions, hit us up.
Hit us up, man. And maybe we'll do another show. I'd like to maybe bring some of those guys in and get their views for it. We've even discussed that. And let's maybe start looking into that.
That'd be cool.
Bringing some people in and getting their viewpoints and see what they think about it. And
because it's getting damn near 20 years ago.
20. Our first show was
So we have to kind of start putting some of these stories down before we forget them.
Forget them. Yeah. Because like I said, dude, a lot of this shit I've already forgotten, and I'm sure a lot of the stuff I talked about today is nostalgia, memories getting mixed up. I mean, who knows, man? But I'll tell you this much, brother, and I'll say it again. Up until now, I don't know what the future holds. Hopefully, the future will be as great as those days. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's your youth. I don't know if you can ever get that back. And like I said, I don't know what the future holds. I don't know what tomorrow holds. But as of right now, my time in the Millennium Wrestling Federation, bar none, man. Best times of my life.
Absolutely. It's still going.
Still going, man. And you can still go. Go check them out, man. Don't take our word for it. Go check them out for yourself, man. Once again, Outlaw Keith Matthews has carried that son of a bitch on his shoulder. He's had help. He's not done it on his own. Chris Solar has been there for him as well. He's had other people to help him out and help carry that flag. But don't get it twisted. Jeff Roberts, the Outlaw Keith Matthews, is the man who has kept this banner flying for all of us. Jeff, thank you. I appreciate it, man. Thank you for that. Keep it going, brother. You ain't going nowhere. Keep it up, man. Keep it flying. Keep it flying. All right, brother. You want to have a good one?
We're going to try.
All right. No shit. Until next week, ladies and gentlemen, PUDs out there, have a good one.
And not only that, David, I understand we're right at the end of our program.
No. We have got to go.
This has been a great event.
There's some people out there that hate us for this.